Hey, what is going on, guys? TS Sports 15 here. Today we have another episode of Toronto Maple Leafs be a GM mode here in NHL 13. So let's get right into it. We are going to do up to the trade deadline in this episode, and then we're going to do the trade deadline, and then we're going to finish off the season. So it's going to be 2 episodes for the full season, so it should go by pretty quick, and it should be about another 20-minute episode, so not too long. So yeah, we did the All-Star game in the last episode. I'll just go check over my lines one more time. If you guys did forget, Huberdeau, Duran, Kessel, Zarkov, Shifley, and JVR, Kadri, Vituloma, and Colburn, and then Dorsett, Moen, and Ashton on the fourth line. So then Riley and Phaneuf, Gardner, Pulock, Hamilton, and Campbell. And then we have Campbell and Nets, Jack Campbell, and then Theodore as backup. So those are our lines, and we will get right into the simulation. Alrighty, so let's get into the second half simulation. We're going to start off right after the All-Star break. We did lose the All-Star break 4-1 if you missed that in the last episode. So we're going to start it off with a home game against Colorado. We lose that one 3-2. And then another home game against the Vancouver Canucks. We win that 7-4. Then we go to New Jersey and we end up beating them 2-1 in that game right there. So we got another away game here against the Rangers. We beat them 4-2, and then we got an away game against Montreal, and we beat them 4-1. So we'll head back into another thing. Alright, so there is a waiver thing right here. There's Jordan Staal on waivers. 7 years left for $6 million. I kind of want to claim him if we can. If we can't hold on to that contract, we could just use him in the minors and like keep him there to help with our minor league team. So I think I'm going to take him if we can't trade him away at the deadline. We're just going to keep him in the minors, but he's not going to play on our team. We're just going to see if we can get like a pick for him or something. So we're not going to call him up so it doesn't hurt our salary or anything. So we'll get back to the simulation. Alright, so we got that thing done right there with Jordan Staal. So we're going to start it off with a win against Carolina and then another one against Philadelphia. So then we got 3 games this week. And there's a Mark Fissick thing. I didn't show this one because I decided to decline it. And then we got a loss there on the road in Minnesota 2-1. We got another road game here in Anaheim. We lose that one 5-4. And then we got another road game in San Jose, so a long road trip, and we beat San Jose 3-2 to cap off the road trip. And we head back home to play Boston, and we beat them 4-2. Then we got another home game against the Buffalo Sabres, beat them 5-2. We lose to Dallas on the road 6-4. And then we got another road game in LA. We lose to them 4-3. And then after that week we are 39-19-6. And then we got a game against the Vancouver Canucks. We lose 3-2. And then we got one more game before the trade deadline against the New York Islanders, and we beat them 2-0. Alright, so we are back for the trade deadline. We are actually not going to go into the trade deadline because that takes way too long. I'm just going to go in and see if there's anybody that we can get some picks from or something. So we're going to go around. I'm going to look for who is like the last place team in the NHL. See if we can get their picks so then we can get a better pick for the draft. So Colorado and Boston look like they have the 2 worst. So let's see if we can pick up maybe one or both of them. Let's go to Boston first. They don't want to give it up, so let's go to Colorado. And they do want to give it up, so hopefully they do want, where is he? Jordan Staal, they do want him, so that looks like it is pretty close, I guess. So we're going to have to add something more in. We can throw this guy in there, and maybe some younger guys from down here. Hamilton, Kadri, Colburn are all no's. I don't think there's anybody else I could give up in this deal, but we're gonna have to take back some other players. They want to give away this Wilson guy, and then we're gonna have to take back a goalie because we're giving up a goalie. So take back this unsigned goalie. I guess we can't do that. So we're going to have to take back this guy, and this is not even going to be close, I don't think. We were pretty far away. Yeah, that didn't go through. So let's see if there's anybody else we can throw in here. We have like no defensive prospects, but let's see if we can throw in like Galchenyuk or Grigorenko. If we can give up Grigorenko, nah, I don't want to give up Grigorenko. Let's just try and see if we can get something else from a different team. Is there any other bad teams in the NHL? Just like lower key teams that have a chance at that first pick. Vancouver, Pittsburgh, Tampa Bay, or Anaheim. I will try for Vancouver and then Pittsburgh maybe. So we'll start going through these teams. Vancouver, they don't want to give up theirs. Pittsburgh, we passed them. Pittsburgh, they don't even have their first. And St. Louis was the other one. If we can get like a pretty close to the top pick, I'd be pretty happy. So, St. Louis has theirs. Do they want Jordan Stahl? Yes, they do. That could go through right there but we do have to get some skaters coming back. So we're gonna sort like that. We'll take him. And is there that goalie that they want? Do they want him? Buru. And then let's see if we can get a. Oh, it's not worth it. So we'll take Baru off, and we'll see if this trade will go through. So Jordan Stahl for the St. Louis 2017 first round pick. So that did not go through. We'll see if we can sweeten the deal just a little bit. So we'll go to this, and we'll see if there's anybody here. Jensen, Halischuk. Let's even just add these three guys here because they're unsigned, so it doesn't count to their player roster, I guess. So we'll try and add those three guys plus Jordan Stahl for this first, and that did go through. So we do get the St. Louis first round pick, and it was pretty much free because we traded away a guy that we got for waivers that I didn't want to use on my team because I think that'd be kind of cheating. But is there any free agents that we could sign? I just want to make sure that there's not like some huge free agent. So I don't think we are going to do anything else at this trade deadline. We're going to check all these stats right here. So Columbus is leading the West with 97 points already. Calgary also has 93. The rest of it you can just check. Colorado, Vancouver, Anaheim are all pretty much out of the playoffs, stuff like that. So yeah, Eastern Conference we are leading with 86 points. So we are pretty much out of the President's Trophy nominee like things. But we are leading the Eastern Conference, and if we can lead the Eastern Conference at the end of the year, I'd be pretty happy with that. Boston's in last. The rest of it you can just have a look at. And it looks like we might have a chance of playing Montreal in the first round, so that'd be pretty interesting. Goals, Skinner's leading the league with 39. Drouin from our team is in second with 38 assists. Backstrom's in first with 51, and Huberto's in second with 48, and also Scheifele is in sixth with 43. Now 2 points. Skinner is leading the NHL with 79 points, and Drouin has 64 from our team. Wins, Jack Campbell's leading the NHL with 38. Save percentage, Shoveldayev is leading the NHL with a .947 save percentage. And Jack Campbell's not up there in that. Goals against, Shoveldayev is leading with a 1.59 goals against average, and Jack Campbell's not up there. So we're just going to finish off the season simulation. It's only a few more weeks, so I will get right to that right now. Alright, so we are just going to finish off the season simulation here. We're going to start it off with a loss to not the Vancouver Canucks, the Washington Capitals. We lose 5-2 there, and this part right here, skipping the trade negotiation, took a while, so shouldn't take too long. I have it on 4 times sim speed. Well, not 4 times sim speed, 4 times the actual speed the video gameplay is. So we do pass the trade deadline. We don't go for this guy right here, so we decline that waiver claim, and we got another scouting assignment here. I'll just do it like this. It'll be pretty quick right there, and then we will get into this first game, a home game against the Winnipeg Jets, and we do what do we do? We lose that game. I believe that was in overtime. We lose this game at home against the Philadelphia Flyers 2-1. We beat Buffalo on the road 3-1, and then we beat the Ottawa Senators there. We beat Chicago 6-1, and then we got a game. We beat Columbus 3-4, 4-3, sorry, and then we beat St. Louis 6-4. And then we're nearing the end of the season here. A couple more weeks. We got a couple away games here. One against Winnipeg and the one against Tampa. The first one against Winnipeg, we do lose 4-3, and then this one against Tampa Bay, we win that one. I didn't see the score, but we lose to the Islanders there, 3-2. We beat Boston there. We beat Buffalo. Game against Montreal, and we do beat them. We got last two games of the season here. We beat Carolina, and then we beat Washington. So that is the end of the season simulation. All right, so we are finished with the season, and we finished at 51, 24, and 7. So we're going to go through all the stats. So Columbus, they did win the President's Trophy by 9 points over us, the Toronto Maple Leafs. We finished with 109 points this season, so Columbus does win the President's Trophy. You can see the rest of the stats, the standings for the Western Conference right there. St. Louis finished with 81 points, so that should be a pretty okay pick, I would say. So then in the Eastern Conference, we did win the Eastern Conference. The rest of it, you can just look there. Boston, well, it looks like Colorado's going to have the number one pick, but there is a lottery, so yeah. We'll check the goals here. Skinner and Drouin tied for the number one goals lead in the NHL with 46 apiece. And we had nobody else up there for that. Assists, Backstrom led the league with 64 assists. And we had Huberdeau up there in fifth with 54. He was also tied with Hendrik Sedin. And then points, Skinner led the league with 98 points, almost at 100 points season. That's pretty interesting. And then we had Scheifele up there in fourth with 82. And then we also had Drouin up there in sixth with 81. He was actually, no, he was tied for fifth with Ovechkin. So we had fourth and fifth for points, so that's pretty good. Wins, Jack Campbell almost had 50 wins this year. He finished in first with 49. Save percentage, Sheveldayev led the league with .943. Campbell wasn't up there for that. Goals against, Sheveldayev led with a 1.67. And Sheveldayev's turning into a freaking all-star goalie. I want to see if we can maybe make a trade for him. That'd be sick if we can get him, because he's been performing so well. So we're going to go in and we're going to check individual stats before we go. And then we'll also check the AHL like I did in the last episode. So here we go. Once these load, we will get in and check the stats. So yeah, once it starts loading. So yeah, here we go. We got the stats ready. So Scheifele led us with 82 points. Drouin had 81. Kessel had 77. So I think that's our first line. That was a pretty good first line. Huberdeau had 75. JVR had 49, and Riley led us with the defenseman with 41. Pulock had a good year with 39, so he should get a lot better. Zarkov in his rookie season had 38 points. Kadri from the third line had 37. Phaneuf, who's more like a defensive defenseman, I'd say, he had 37 as well. Colburn from the third line had 28. Gardner had 25. Campbell had 20. Vitulama had 19. Ashton had 19 as well. Hamilton had 16. Dorsett had 12, as well as Moen. So that's our stats for that. We'll go check goalie stats. So yeah. Theodore came in for 3 games and he got 2 wins, but he had a really good year. He had a sub 2 goals against average. So Jack Campbell played every game unless Theodore had to come in for 3 games, but he did pick up 3 wins. So 2 wins. So Jack Campbell finished at 49, 24, and 1. 49, 24, 1, and 6. He had 184 goals against. He had a 91.99 save percentage. That's how many shots against, 2,297. He had 7 shutouts. Penalty minutes, he had none. Goals, he had none. He had 4 assists, so that's 4 points. And then, yeah, so that's pretty much that for Jack Campbell. We're going to go check our AHL team just to see how those three players are doing: Domi, Galchenyuk, and Grigorenko. We're just going to see how they did this season, and then we will be done. So here we go. Hopefully they are top three on the team. So Acton, Verone, Scott. So Galchenyuk, he played all 72 games. He had 15 goals, 32 assists, 47. So that's 47 points. 22 penalty minutes. He was minus 32. He had power play goals. That's all good like that. So then Grigorenko also played 72 games. I don't think their season's done yet. So he had 21 goals, 23 assists, and 44 points. Penalty minutes, all that good stuff right there. And he was negative 31 for plus minus. Now Domi, he had 13 goals, 29 assists for 42 points, 26 penalty minutes, and negative 29. So that line did pretty bad this year. The whole team did pretty bad this season. So yeah, only one player was a plus player on that team, and I think on our NHL team, our whole team was plus players. So I just want to go check and see how our AHL team did in the season or how they're doing right now. So we'll go check. And the Marlies, where are they? Where's the Marlies? The Toronto Marlies. Where are the Toronto Marlies? I can't seem to find them. So, give me 1 second. There they are. They're in 14th place in the Western Conference. I don't know why they're in the Western Conference. And their team name is TOA. So that's a little weird. They finished with 55 points. They still have one, two, three, four. Still have 4 games left. So yeah, we are headed into the playoffs for the year 5 playoffs, and hopefully we can pick up another Stanley Cup championship. So we will see who we play in the first round of these playoffs, and we'll go check the playoff tree. So we do play the New Jersey Devils in the first round of the playoffs. That's going to be pretty interesting. I just want to go see who everybody else plays before we go. So we'll go check out the playoff tree, NHL. So yeah, in the Western Conference, 1 against 8 seed Columbus Blue Jackets against Nashville Predators. 2 against 7 is Calgary against Phoenix. 3 against 6 is LA Chicago, and then 4 against 5 is Edmonton Minnesota. And then in the Eastern Conference, 1 against 8 is ourselves, Toronto Maple Leafs, against the New Jersey Devils. And then 2-7 is Florida Winnipeg. And then 3-6 is New York Rangers against the Carolina Hurricanes. And then 4-5 is Ottawa Montreal. So I don't know what happened to the New York Islanders. They made it to the conference finals last year, and they are not in the playoffs this year. So hopefully we win another Stanley Cup ring, 3 in a row. So this is going to be really fun headed into the year 5 playoffs. So I'll see you guys in the next one when we start those. Peace.